Breaking news: the Bears have re signed Joe Tooney to a 2 year, $35 million extension. What does this mean for the Chicago Bears and this offensive line? Ryan Poles finally got it done, extending Tooney for 2 more years and keeping him in Chicago through the 2027 season, giving the Bears a Hall of Fame caliber guard to help not only set the tone for this offensive line but to be a leader of this offense. This guy is an Iron Man and Caleb Williams' new bodyguard. And now he's agreed to stay in Chicago and likely finish his career as a Chicago Bear. He has signed a 2 year, $35 million extension. In total, Tooney will be getting $51 million over the next 3 seasons. And while details of his cap hit have not been released yet, I expect this to be a team friendly deal here. Again, for the people who keep saying, where do we get the money for these moves? Or how can we sign this guy with our cap space situation this year? This is an extension. We're not changing what he makes this year. This deal, along with the TJ Edwards and Kyler Gordon extensions, did not change how much they get paid in 2025. They are extensions that do not kick in until 2026, when we have a ton of cap space. However, Poles did move some money around and add more flexibility for this roster. If I had to guess how this contract was structured, I would imagine that Tooney's contract for this year is now fully guaranteed, and probably next year's salary too. But then most likely there will not be any guaranteed money in 2027. But this is a home run for Ryan Poles either way, not only by trading a fourth round pick next season for Joe Tooney, but then also extending him and keeping him here for the next 3 years. But on top of that, the pick we traded for Tooney, Ryan Poles was able to recoup in the draft by trading down, making this an absolute home run. This guy is a 4 time Super Bowl winner, the guy who anchored the offensive line for both Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes. He is a 2 time first team All Pro and a 2 time second team All Pro as well. But more importantly, Tooney by himself has more All Pro appearances than the entire Chicago Bears offensive line has for the last 35 years. You heard that right. Tooney has more All Pros than our entire O line has in the last nearly 40 seasons. That's insane. And it tells you not only how bad our offensive line has been, but how incredible of a player Joe Tooney is. He's only given up 6 sacks over the last 5 years, and he's an absolute anchor for the front five. He will make whoever is playing left tackle better. And that's another point here. Because when you look at our offensive line as a whole now, every single starter except Braxton Jones, and that's including 2 or 3 of our top backups, are now all under contract through at least 2027. That means for the next 3 to 4 years, the Bears should finally have a ton of stability in our front five. This is something we haven't offered any of our previous quarterbacks, and this should be really key for Caleb Williams' growth and as our offense as a whole. Jonah Jackson, Joe Tooney, and Drew Dahlman all have 3 year contracts to shore up the interior of that O line, meaning all 3 of those guys are here through the 2027 season. But on top of that, Darnell Wright and Karan Amagaji both have 3 years left on their contracts as well. Now, that is assuming the Bears pick up Darnell's 5th year option, which seems like a no brainer right now. But those guys are also here through the 2027 season. But then we also have Ozzie Trapillo and Luke Newman, both under contract through 2028. And our offensive line has more talent and depth than I remember having at any point in recent Bears history. The odd man out here, though, is Braxton Jones, who's entering the final year of his contract. Fans are too hard on Brax. He's been a solid player who definitely outperformed his draft status as a late 5th round pick from a small school, and he turned into a starting left tackle in the NFL. But Braxton Jones is a success story. The problem is he does not fit into the Bears' long-term plans at left tackle from what it looks like. And most likely the way he helps the Bears is by getting a big contract in free agency next offseason and then maybe rewarding the Bears with another comp pick. but Ben Johnson wants more anchor from his tackle positions, and both Ozzy Trapillo and Karan Amagaji provide more of an anchor than Braxton has. Pair that with his contract status, how much left tackles get paid, and that he's coming back from off-season ankle surgery, and suddenly Braxton's prospects and future with this team look very uncertain. There's just no way we're going to pay him 20 plus million a season. So the writing is on the wall here. And both Ozzy and Karan have a chance to win the starting job if they can have huge training camps. And that's something we have to watch throughout mini camps and into training camp. Something to keep an eye on going forward. The left tackle job is open, but Joe Tooney will be anchoring the left guard spot for the next few years. A huge move by Ryan Poles. Let me know in the comments how you guys feel about this one. Please remember to hit that like button for me. Stay tuned. I have more content on the way. And until next time, bear down.